When you looked at our totals, you looked at your totals up here. You looked at my total, 5 points. How do you know that you won? Allie, how do you know?
I know that we won because in 100 it says 8, and that beats 5. So then 95 won, then 90, then 1, then 85, then 6, then 80, and then 2, then 75, then 0, then 75, and etc.
Okay, except you have 3 at 0. How do you still know you won? Elise?
Because most people got, people also got 100 points.
Okay, but how many people are in the class today? How many people are we missing today? 2 people away. So we have 27. 2 didn't participate, so 25. So if we have 25, you got 3 100s, but how do you still know that you won without doing... Oh, sorry, 8 100s. My fault. How do you still know that you won without doing any of the math? Mark?
Well, we have a lot of high scores, and we know we're going... And with the extra 20,
Yes.
we divide by 25, we
Yes.
know that we're still going to have a really high score.
How do you know that?
Because there's a lot of high numbers.
Okay. Anyone else have something to add?
And plus you have 5 points via a 100, no, like 1,000. Not
No. When you do the mean, okay, but when you do the mean, what will happen to your score? Where will your score fall between? I guess would be a better question.
Okay, just saying something else. I know that we won just by this because the highest score was 100,
Yes.
and there's more people on one team.
Yes.
There's 25 playing on this team, and only one of you. So if let's say 9.
Yes.
Let's say you had a couple more other players, and they got like 10 100s, then probably you guys might win because you guys got more 100. But since it was you did it independently, you only got 5, and a lot of people got 100 on our team, then we won.
Okay. But what's going to happen to this score when we do the mean? Is it possible for it to be at 1,000 points? What has to be true? Layla?
I would say 100 or under, but since we already have a lot of low scores, would have to be under 100.
Why couldn't it be above 100? Why couldn't our score be above 100 when we do the mean? Samit? Just 1 minute first. Why couldn't our score be above 100 when we do the mean? Ella? We do, and build on that. Who can build on what Ella said? Oh. Elise?
Well, you have to divide the number of people, not the 100 or 95
Yeah.
or something. You have to divide how much people.
And what does mean? What does mean? So, with that in mind, what has to be true about the mean when you are taking an average in this case? What has to be true about the score? Ben? It does. In this case, lower than what? Yes. So,
Found the score.
and Mark did some calculations for us, and Mark,
It's 60.
You can talk to them.
60.
Sorry, what did you come up?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Anything.
Now, if it's 60.6, what would we do with that? We wanted a whole number.
Rounded it, so 61.
Okay, so that score is a lot lower than the last time we did that. Why do you think this is? The last time it was like 95 and 90, and now we've got 61. Why? Claire?
Because both of the teams were merged together and you weren't participated last time. So basically, when the two teams were separate, they will ask people to mess up the score.
Yeah.
When you put the team together, then if one person gets a, say a 10, then it affects the whole group score instead of just affecting the smaller groups.
Okay, but last time though, we had a group of boys and a group of girls, and they were both like over 90 the scores. But this time, our total one becomes 60 something. So if we had put the two last time together and averaged, you still would have had a score over 90, but this time you only had a score of 61. Why? Javier? Possibly, but if we had taken the two the last time and divided it, we still would have gotten a score over 90. So why was this one harder?
Because we could only use 5 words at a time.
Okay, and why did that become more difficult? Or Mark?
And well, I guess I know why the score is lower than the last time.
Yes?
Because now we had more people,
Okay.
so
But the last time, let's pretend, I can't remember the exact score, but I think it was something like 92 to 95 or something.
91
to 94.
Okay, so let's assume that. If we did add those up, 1 and 4 makes, 9 and 9 makes, everybody? Okay, so 185 divided by 2. So 2 can't go into 1. 2 goes into 18 how many times? How many would be in each group when you divide 18 equally? Ella? Right. And then 2 goes into 5 how many times? If I had 2 groups and I've got 5 items and I want to divide them equally between those 2 groups, how many would be in each group? Katerina?
2.
Right, and what would be true? How many would I have left over?
5. Like 5.
Here's my 2 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1.
Okay, so I do that, bring the 1. 2 goes into 10 how many times?
5.
So my average score, my mean, would have been 92.5. But this time it is only 61. Somebody said it was because of the 5-word sentences. What else made it more challenging this time? Jenna? Right. And is there anything else?
I think because never mind.
Anything else that made it more challenging?
That we were working in groups and we had to communicate and figure out a plan. And none of us could say anything but 5 words to explain the whole design.
And it got frustrating, didn't it? Now, with that, we certainly all talked, even me who ended up at 5 points, which is sad. We certainly all talked less today than we usually do. Most of my points that were taken off was because I said, say, 6 words or 7 words, not because I said as many words as I've even said in this podcast. So I guess my question is, what did you notice about yourselves or about other people by talking less today? For those that really, really tried to talk less, what did you notice? What did you think?
Most
Ella?
of us were
said most of us ignore.
Okay. Hamza?
That's pretty easy because I would just like say my 5 words, stop, pause.
Okay, so you came up with a strategy. What did you kind of notice? What did you think? Would you want to do it again? Why? Yes? Layla?
No.
But you wanted to.
Last time it was funner.
Why?
This time we could have finished our sentences.
And how were you feeling?
I don't know, angry.
Why?
It was just so frustrating.
So, how does this help you connect with how Melody felt or how other people feel when they don't have a voice?
But it's weird because she could actually finish the sentences with the many talker, and we can't.
But you could have if you
We could have used a medi-talker if we used
You could have. But many of you didn't. But then, how does this help you understand what Melody felt?
I'll just say, not all the iPads have Siri.
They don't. But how does this help you understand how Melody felt?
Help me understand because she can't talk like at all. Like, ever.
Right?
And we can talk all we want, but we're doing it to see what feels like not to talk. And that's really hard. So I can connect how it feels like if I was Melody's. I don't know what I do.
Why?
Oh, and I used the iPad
Yeah.
to talk.
You did.
I said, help me. This sucks. This
Maybe the word sucks wouldn't have been the best use of word choice.
But it did.
This is not great.
I
Remember our audience.
I need a quick word. Okay, I was running out.
Yes?
actually said, please help me. I need to talk. This is torture.
It don't matter.
Okay.
Also,
I
Yes?
don't keep track of what I say.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure you would be able to handle yourself if you were like Melody, because you would be born like that and you would know what it was like.
Okay, so you thought it was harder having no?
Yeah.
You know what? I want to pick up on something Allie said for just a minute. Allie, you said that you don't keep track of your words. Raise your hand if you would agree with Allie that on any other day you don't keep track of your words. Now, what would you say was true of today? How did you keep track of your words?
By writing them down.
Okay. How else did you keep track of your words? Mark? What did you do? I got a lot of glances today of people using their fingers. Raise your hand if you did that too. I even noticed myself doing it in the staff room today. So, how does this help us better appreciate the concept of talking? Okay?
If we're doing it like kids versus you should have like the same score as all of our scores combined. Because then like it would be a fair thing.
Would it have
Do
been
it
fair?
again.
Hold on. I want to know if that would have been fair. If I started with 2,700 points and you started at 100 each, you took the average, I didn't. Who's at an advantage? Me or you? I wonder.
Who's at the better advantage is you because we have more people on our team, so that costs more talking. Because if you're just by yourself, and you could just stay silent, it'd be so easy. And like all of us were it, it'd be hard because it's basically like saying that you combine all of yours together. If you just had that, then it'd be a lot easier because it's only one person to keep track.
Okay, but look here. Unless I'm wrong, you're saying that I should start with the score that all of you had combined, right? So there were 25 people today working. So 25 times 100 makes 2,500, right? So if I had started with 2,500 points and you were getting your average, so your score was going to be out of 100, who's at the advantage? Jackass? Okay, but if your final score ends up being out of 100 and mine is out of 2,500, who's at the advantage? Why?
Because you have.
Okay, now, when would be a time that I should be at 2,500? In this case, I had 2,500 points, and you ended up with 100 each, right? But is there a time that it would have been fair for me to have 2,500 points and you against you? Not well said.
Maybe because maybe we had more privileges to talk more than you, maybe.
In your case, what did we do with your final score at the end? We added. Yeah. Yes, and then what?
But if we hadn't done the mean, we just added them up, then it would be fair.
Why?
Because you're only one person for 25.
And if we hadn't done the mean, what would your total score have been out of?
Out of 2,500.
Right. So then we. Is that what you meant? So, my fault I didn't explain well? Okay. And that could have worked. Because then it would have been the same. So, I have like 1 minute and not even, but for 1 minute, what was the hardest time today not to talk?
All of it.
Maddie? Why?
Because you were with your friends at your lockers, and you wanted to talk to them so bad and tell them what you were doing,
Yes.
but you couldn't. And I tried telling my friends, but they didn't get it.
When was your hardest time, Mark?
I'd say during the art piece for the thing.
Yes.
Because at first Jenna didn't get it, and then I kept on saying different things.
Oh, like to
and
explain your plan?
basically just forgetting about this.
And when was your hardest?
It wasn't really that hard, but for a lot of people it was great. Because a lot of people in Minecraft, they forget that there's a chat box and they're all yelling at each other. Don't help me! And they start yelling and the room is really loud. Then they forget that they're supposed to be stuck in quotes talking, and they don't.
And Allie.
It wasn't hard at all because I talked all of it. Well, it was hard because I said like 100 words, but that's nothing to me. That's like you holding everything in, but it's a lot to you. It's nothing to me. So more normal to me, something hard for me, something easy for me is 1 million words because I need that. And then something more I would take is like 10 million. I need to talk.
So you're kind of speaking to the value of differentiated instruction. We should have different rules for different people based on their needs.
It wasn't hard because I talked the whole day.
But did you need different rules to be successful? Did I? I did. And